Well, we have question 1 here, and the question 1.1 says solve for x. And in the previous video, we did question 1.1.1 and question 1.1.2. Now we're going to do question 1.1.3. The question says, here's the question that says x, open bracket 4 minus x, close bracket, less than 0. I'm going to write it here, 1.1.3. I don't know what that makes like 1.3. So what we have, x, open bracket, 4 minus x, lesser than 0. All right, we need to note that this is not an equation, this is an inequality because of the symbol that we see here. Okay, that lesser than symbol makes it an inequality. Now, how do you calculate inequalities? Unlike equations, with inequality, the solutions for x are like over certain intervals. So we need to determine the critical values. So those critical values will show the interval over which x is defined or x is true. X will make the equation true. So first of all, I'm going to write here critical value, find the critical value, or determine the critical values. The critical values. In this case, we will make this inequality an equation. We change it to an equation in order to find the critical values. So we must set it equal to 0. Remember the property that says a times b equals 0 implies that a equal to 0 or b equal to 0. Okay, so over here it means that x is equal to 0 or 4 minus x is equal to 0. So if I move the x over, which means 4 equal to x, or just x is equal to 4. I prefer to write x is equal to 4. So those two are critical values. Those values will determine the boundaries, okay, of each interval. I'm going to draw my number line over here. Let's say this is the number line. And then in the number line, I will place in the critical values in ascending order because numbers in number line must be in ascending order. They're like, let's say 0 is here and then 4 there. Okay, I cannot put 4 and then 0. 0 from, we go from left to right. Now, they are there. And then because it's lesser than, just gonna put the open circles there. To say it means that those limits are not they're not touchable. They're not. I'm not saying the limits are not inclusive. Okay, they're not part of the interval. So we break down the number line into 3 intervals. So from negative infinite to 0 over here, and then from 0 to 4, and then from 4 to positive infinite. Now we need to see where the function is defined, where this not function, but this equation is defined, where this equation is lesser than 0. Now when I pick up any number in this interval, okay, any number, let's take a number like any number like -1, for instance. So if I set -1 for x, okay, and then see 4 minus -1 will make a positive number, which is positive 5. But now -1. This -1 times -5 will make it negative. So we say that over here, the solution is negative. The equation will be negative. Then I move here. And it is true for any number that anyone can select as long as the number is in this interval. You don't take 2, which is here, and then say, and then no, it's not going to work. It must be in this interval, any number. You can take -5. You can take -17/4. It will work, okay? Now I want to pick up a number in this interval. I prefer to take simplest number that I will calculate easily with. Like, let's take a number like 1, for instance. So if I have a number like 1, okay? In this interval, I have like 1 there and 1 there. I have like 1 times 3, and that's positive, okay? Positive, this side. And then over here, I take a number like 5. For instance, if I sub 5 there for x, and it's 5 for x, and I work it out, you're going to get the negative answer because you have 5 times -1, which is negative. Now, we look at here, the solution was supposed to be, where the inequality was supposed to be lesser than. Lesser than means where's negative, okay? So now the solution of this question is that from -∞ to 0, so x is between -∞ and 0, and no, or x is between 4 and +∞. So this is the solution. It can be written like this, or sometimes they can write it like you can say x is elements of from -∞ to 4, I mean to 0, or x is element of 4 to +∞. So these are the solutions. Or simply, someone can just write, you can also write x is lesser than 0, because all these are lesser than 0, or x also is more than 4, because you see over here it's lesser than 0. The solution is this part, or the solution, okay, let me just cross. It's not, the solution is not over here, not over here. So the solution is lesser than 0 or more than 4. You can also write like this and that. Thank you.